Hey, let's go sailing today. Today's my first day back on the boat since I was in Thailand, and I'm meeting Byron to go out for a little sail. It's a little more wind than I'm used to, and it's blowing me onto the dock, so that ought to be interesting getting out of here. Again, still trying to work on it to get better at it, but we're going to start with getting the boat cleaned up. I haven't been here in about 2 weeks, and the dust and bird poop is all over it, so I'm gonna get it cleaned up. So let's start with that, and then in about an hour I'm gonna meet Byron. We'll take off, go for a short sail. All right, let's go.
Today wasn't meant to be a work day. It was just about getting back to the basics and taking sea oxygen to the Gulf, but the deck was covered in salt, dust, and grime. Nearly every sailing day involves work you didn't plan to do, which is why I spent a couple hours on the dock with the pressure washer.
Go ahead.
I've been dragging my feet on the annual Teak maintenance for months.
Yeah, push me off.
Every boat owner knows that feeling. You look at the wood and you tell yourself, next weekend. But knocking off the top layer of dirt felt like the first step towards tackling it.
Never even rubbed. Good.
Six days ago, I returned home after spending more than 2 weeks in Thailand. I brought back incredible memories, some great lessons on the water, and somewhere between 300 and 400 video files which are sitting on my hard drives, waiting to be edited. That series is coming and it's going to be epic, but before I could even think about sitting at a desk to edit the footage, I had to go sailing on my own boat. The forecast was dead on perfect. A steady breeze, clear skies, and warm water.
Need to look at my AIS a little better.
So you coming out over the road? She'll come out, be down that Freeport intersection about 30.
He's got a little speed, so he's coming on this back end, I'm guessing.
Running through commercial shipping channels requires respect. When you're sharing narrow water with container ships, tugs, and barges, the margin of error is nearly zero. Those first few months after moving here, I didn't enjoy sailing during the week when the port was its busiest. Today, it was all about pacing, timing the speed to slot neatly behind the outbound traffic without cutting anyone off or getting pinned in their wake. When you stop reacting to the channel and start anticipating it, the experience changes.
There they are. Yeah. Go under. There's some more up there. Yeah. Let me go on, like I blister in the sun. Let me go on. So I'm watching. I had 2 barges that are heading westbound, and then I got one coming eastbound. We were able to get ahead of him. This is the other side of the ICW on this side. It's clear, but it's the one that bothers me the most because I come around this corner and it's kind of a blind corner. Luckily, I can look at my AIS and see if there's anybody there. And I'm not too worried about the power boats because they just maneuver around me.
There was a noticeable bite to the breeze today. A year ago, wind like this would have had my heart rate off the chart. But today, the movements felt deliberate. No rushing, no white knuckles, just control and patience. We're almost 10 miles and we're at an anchor field, and you'll see we've counted 6 out here. I gotta check my settings on the display because they're not showing up. I see a crew boat behind me. I doubt you can see him here, but I'll point. He's out there. Crew boat or pilot, I'm not sure what it is. But anyways, here's 6 boats and they're not showing up on the AIS. So if I was sailing at night, that'd be alarming. Other than I know that this is an anchor field for them. There's quite a few of them out waiting to come in. Watching this, I think it's a crew boat. It's heading up to, you can't see it behind this sail here, is ships that are out here. There's 6 more. There you can see 3 pretty clear, but he's making his way. He went around us, which is nice. We're gonna go out probably about half the distance of this boat, and then we're gonna heave-to for a minute. We're gonna practice that drill and then probably head back. That'll give us about 22 to 24 miles for the day. For the first time, I realized I wasn't overthinking every action. For a beginner, there's an invisible line you cross. On one side, you're always concerned about what might go wrong. On the other side, you realize you trust your boat, your maintenance, and your ability to handle whatever comes up. That shift doesn't happen in a classroom. It happens on days like this. And if there's ever a sweet spot in coastal cruising, this is it. When we reached the offshore anchorage area, we decided to practice an important safety maneuver in sailing, heaving-to. If you're new to sailing, heaving-to is essentially parking your sailboat in open water using only the sails and rudder. You don't drop anchor, you balance the forces. Here's the breakdown. First, you tack the boat through the wind, but you leave the jib sheet cleated. This leaves the headsail backwinded, which pushes the bow downwind. Second, you ease the main sheet out to depower it. Then you turn the wheel or tiller hard to windward as you're trying to head up and lock it into place. The backwinded jib tries to push the bow away from the wind, while the rudder tries to push the wind into the wind so they cancel each other out. The boat settles into a gentle sideways drift at 1 to 2 knots, creating a slick of calm water upwind. Whether you have an engine emergency, need to fix something below, make lunch, or just let heavy weather pass by, this maneuver puts you in total control.
So ultimately, I want to go back to the jetties. Right. So, tell me how you want me to trim. So the water tower is surf side, and your jetties are about right there. What I would do is look at this now, figure out where the entrance to those jetties are, and then start trying to, line and point to that, see what angle you're at, and then I'll trim your sails. All right, we're on our way back. First, I want to point out, look at how the water, it looks really good. I just, a minute ago, I had my feet sitting off the back. We were actually Hove-To, and we did practice with that a little bit, and coming in and out of it. Let me turn this music off. But anyways, we were Hove-To, and it allowed me to use the bathroom, and we just want to practice that drill when I have somebody different on the boat. So if somebody goes overboard or whatever issue that we need just to stop in place for a minute, we did. I'm curious to watch the numbers when I get back to see how still we were. We were definitely Hove-To, we weren't going anywhere. And now we're headed right back to the jetties. Again, we turned around at about 11 and a half, so we're looking at 22 for the day, which is a good day. We didn't see many dolphins while we were offshore, but there's been a bunch of them in the jetties, both when we left and now we're back. They're just kind of rolling to the top. They're not in our wake. Don't really seem all that curious about our boat. This is the intersection I always worry about, because this is the ICW. While it's hard to tell, you got two blind corners. There's one right there, and then this is the other side. But I'm taking a look here. Any of the bigger boats that would have an AIS, I don't see anything that's going to interfere with us. We're just really slow as we come across versus some of these bigger boats. Some dolphins right out here.
Days like today remind me why I started this channel. It's not always about deliveries or surviving squalls. Sometimes the biggest milestones are quiet. The day you pull away from the dock without second guessing yourself, manage a commercial port without fear, and stepping off the boat feeling completely at home on the water.
We have about 17 sustain coming into the marina here. I'm calling it, it's going to be a shit show docking today. I'm going to, once again, try to reverse stern to all the way from the main fairway. Wish me luck. All right, so far so good. I'm still seeing like 17 to 18 right now. You can't tell on these cameras. But she's steering in straight. We'll see. Nothing else will give me experience.
Luckily, there's no other boat in my slip. On the double slip, there's no other boat there, so I have a little extra room to play with. All right, here it goes. Let's see. Got Brian with the boat hook over here ready. And by the grace of God, the wind has just died down for a minute. Maybe the shadow of the building there. If you gotta step off, that's even better. No, just put it on there, because this is my brake. Just put it on there, because this is my brake.
We'll come around here as slow as I can, as flat as you can get.
Okay. They come back here and hand me this back line, 'cause I forgot to.
A little bit farther over, but start digging up the mud if I get any closer.
No.
Okay, roger that. Now just stay where you're at, man. I'll come by as slow as I can, but I might have to kick it up a little bit to get past you. You got that one empty cruise on, my friend? Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, get my... Let me just throw it in reverse. Oh, you should get it on here. There you go. There you go. That was quite possibly the best docking I've had. So that worked out really well. Had a ton of wind out there, but there's a shadow from this dry storage, and that benefited me quite a bit. So, hey, maybe there's a little bit of me getting better and a little bit of luck. We're all done. So, tell me what you think. Even my bad days out there when ship breaks and the weather's not right, have a horrible docking, it's still a great day. So tell me what's your perspective.
It's amazing. I love it. When we're out there, I have no doubt that I could spend the rest of my life doing that.
You know, one thing I noticed that not everybody can do is actually shut their brain down. There was a solid, I would guess, 30 to 40 minutes. You and I didn't say one word. We were just kind of just staring off into the distance. So many people ask me, what is it that you do while you're out there? And I don't have an answer. I don't stare at the waves, the water, and ships. I don't know. I just get deep in thought, and I'm okay with that, you know. And sometimes I'll read or do different things, but it's something very therapeutic out there. Like you, this is something I want to do forever, and it's been great. He's a great hand. He really knows his stuff out there, and then plus he's willing to help me. So what would normally take me 30, 45 minutes by myself took probably 10 minutes. So, all right, I appreciate you joining me today.
That wraps up this week. Thanks for following our journey, one adventure at a time. Join us on Patreon for bonus footage and behind-the-scenes updates. Your support there is truly what helps fuel these adventures. And don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. We'll see you next week.